You know, it's funny. The US government was shut down for over a month, and bizarrely, no one seemed to care. Starbucks lines still neat as a metronome. Amazon vans, they still buzz down the streets like obedient blue beetles. The private economy just hummed along perfectly indifferent. The supposed heart of the free world stops beating, and the patient doesn't even twitch. It's absurd, really. The mighty constitutional machine can seize up entirely, and your average American just shrugs and checks their phone. The United States, it turns out, exists mostly in the imagination of lawyers, historians, and a few caffeinated columnists. The rest of the country lives quite happily in the private economy, a watch ticking away in the dark. And it's not new. The Civil War's ghost still sitting in the corner. We're taught it was the grand crucible that forged the Union, but really it was a messy divorce where the exes refused to move out. The North technically won, but the South never stopped sulking. They turned defeat into a religion. The lost cause congealed like bad gravy in the national consciousness. A whole region fell in love with its own failure, and a spectral reminder that victory was mostly paperwork. If a nation depends on shared memory, then America started life half-split, a legal fiction with excellent PR. So fast forward to now. Another shutdown, another reminder that indivisible is just a word, not a fact. The whole federal machine grinds to a halt, and yet the lights stay on in grocery stores, restock, people grumble about traffic, Instagram keeps inflating its own sense of importance, government collapses, civilization barely notices. The distinction is unnerving. The United States isn't something people live in, it's something that occasionally happens to them. A ghost with its own flag and anthem, haunting an economy that doesn't need it. History, of course, hasn't been kind. The Civil War didn't cure division, it industrialized it. The South kept seething, and the North went to sleep, and the West perfected the art of not giving a damn. Suspicion of government became the only real national creed. So this shutdown? Not an apocalypse, a confirmation. America, like some proud invalid, survives in spite of its own ordinance. It's everywhere and nowhere, omnipresent in symbols, absence, and substance, a bureaucratic specter drifting through a culture too busy watching Netflix to notice it. And yet, just when you think it can't get more theatrical, comes the age of Trump. The United States, always a bit of a performance, becomes full cabaret. The White House turns into a loyalty palace. The Supreme Court, a stage set. The machinery of law, props for a one-man show. And the moment it all crystallized, January 6th. The American flag came down and a Trump banner went up. History will remember that as the instant the Republic became a fan club. That was the day the United States, symbolically at least, knelt to its own reflection. What had been tenuous, this idea of a nation held together by law and memory, became a pageant of personality. The country stopped pretending to believe in democracy and started auditioning for reality TV. And still, here's the perversely hopeful part. It didn't all collapse. For all the noise and horror, America didn't vanish. It just kept going. People worked, shopped, invented, bitched. The sheer indifference of ordinary life is weirdly the nation's saving grace. The whole thing can grind to a halt at the top, and down below, life doesn't even hiccup. That's resilience, albeit of a grimly comic sort. The cracks in the system aren't just fissures, they're fault lines of reinvention. The United States isn't one thing, it's a swarm of ideals and contradictions, and sometimes it takes a shutdown to prove how decentralized that really is. Even with the looming Trump cult, the strange autonomy persists. The country's pulse is local now. Teachers teaching, engineers tinkering, nurses working double shifts, people forming little communities of decency. The White House can go full Versailles. Democracy still exists in the PTA meeting, in the food drive, in the neighbor who shovels your walk. The government may be a farce, but human agency endures. Civilization, quiet, small, untelevised, goes on. And maybe that's the lesson in the absurdity. A country that's more myth than matter is a country that can't quite die because it never fully existed in the first place. Its people, not its palaces, keep it going. The U.S. isn't some marble idea, it's a daily improvisation. The flag can fall, the Constitution can be used as a prop, and the president can turn governance into a game show, but there's still a certain unstoppable life in the thing. The dream may be faint, ironic, dented beyond repair, but it persists. Maybe that's America's secret, a ghost that refuses to stop haunting itself.